What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and yes, it's Tuesday of all days, and I even brought back a top 10 for one of the last couple of videos we'll make in 2021. So I do plan to bring back top 10s in full force in 2022 and look for a update video for the future plans coming in the next couple of days. So I wanted to do a holiday buying guide. It doesn't necessarily need to be for Christmas. If you happen to celebrate, that's fine as well. It is only 4 days away, so you might be a little cramped on getting these for the big day, but a lot of these you can if you have access to Amazon, or even in some local stores you might be able to get them. So I'm going to give you my top 10. I mean, there could be quick hit, I'll tell you if they're ones that I think you can get faster than others, but holiday buying guides for either your DM, your players, or just the D&D/RPG player in your life. If you like this video and like the other kinds of stuff that I do here at Nerd Immersion, consider subscribing to the channel. That'd be the best Christmas present that you all could get me. So stay tuned and let's jump right in. Number 10. Christmas tree dice sets. Now, these were originally part of a Kickstarter that you can see ended a while ago, and they look amazing. They're absolutely fantastic. I love the design. The problem with these is there are countless knockoffs and ripoffs on the internet, so be wary if you're looking to just buy these by going and searching on Google. There are a ton of like Wish-style knockoffs that are not what you want. But as you can see the link right here, the original creator of them has confirmed these are them available on Amazon. They are a little pricey, I will admit, but they are functional dice rollers. As you can see, it starts with a D4 at the top, 6, 8, 10, percentile, 12, and 20. So not only, excuse me, is it a cool looking decoration piece that you can just have on your desk, on your table as part of your general decor, but it also is a fully functioning dice roller for all the different kinds of dice. It comes in a variety of colors. You can see blue and red, traditional green and red. We have sort of like a cyan here, a gold, a red, and a silver. Unfortunately, no orange, but hey, it tells me here on Amazon that at least at my location, I can get this delivered by the 23rd, so I'll have it here for Christmas if I wanted it. Number 9. Commissioned character art. Now this one, I can't unfortunately give you really a price tag or a time frame on this, and in some instances, yeah, it might have needed to be something to do prior to, you know, this close to the holiday, but one of the coolest things you can either do as a fellow player, a DM, however you want to work, is get someone art of their character, especially if this is a character they've been playing for a while or just one that they're very much excited about. I've done this in the past. I've gotten art commissioned for some of my characters. I've gotten art commissioned for the parties that I'm running tables for and things like that, and it can be a lot of fun. It also helps to help people envision their character a little bit more, and it can be a really personal gift. If you happen to be an artist yourself drawing someone's character, it can be another one. And like I said, I can't unfortunately give you a specific link to go to because there are thousands of amazing, talented character artists. So I'll tell you what, why don't all of you leave in the comments below your favorite artists with their handle in case people would like to go pick up art for themselves. Commissions, you never know. Some folks have commissions open. It's the holiday season, so some folks may be looking to get some more commission work towards the end of the year, and hopefully this video will help promote some folks out there who have awesome art styles and may be able to help you get the gift that you really want. Number 8. D&D Apparel. Whether it be t-shirts like this or other things, there are a variety of different sites you can get them on. Some of the popular ones, as folks do continue to ask me where I come up with and where I find the various D&D shirts that I have, would be places like Box Lunch, as you can see, has a variety of different D&D shirts. And I will say you should shop around because you can find a lot of the generic ones with just like the ampersand logo on them, but some of these are ones the likes of which I haven't seen. That's in fact Box Lunch is where this particular shirt happens to be from. But you can see a variety of different options here. And again, depending on where you look, you might be able to find holiday sales, holiday pricing, and these will be different. Another good one here is also Heroes and Villains. Does a variety of stuff. They also have, for example, the nice D&D backpack that I have right here. I'm a big fan of this backpack. It's got a removable dice tray. It's very cool. It's got a rain cover, so your books don't get wet. That's another one available here. They have the sort of the vintage classic shirts, as you can see here. Or even our good old friend Amazon, where you can get the D&D t-shirt club of the month, where you pick a size and they'll send you a new D&D related t-shirt every month. You can actually gift that to folks or just buy D&D shirts. I will warn you that these shirts, the screen printing is kind of rough on them. It does come off pretty good, pretty easily if you're not very careful with how you handle it. So, you know, let folks show their D&D love with pride. It's also surprisingly easy way to get people to, you know, potential other people to play. The amount of times that I've worn a D&D shirt out somewhere to a store and someone's like, oh, you play D&D? And then either it immediately sparks up a conversation about Dungeons and Dragons, and then potentially, if you're willing and open and you know, are able to do so, it might add someone to your table. You might be able to find a DM through them, things like that. So again, a variety of different options. I'll put links to all of the websites down below in case you know, you want to pick up some kind of shirt, apparel, or accessory, socks, or otherwise from one of these stores. Number 7. A subscription to our good friends over at dScryb. Now, if you're unfamiliar with dScryb, this is an online tool to allow you to have box text generated for you for a huge team of very talented writers. As you can see, they did clinch one of the Ennies this year as well. And I would say this is normally primarily for your DMs out there to provide interesting box text for you to craft into your own games, to use it to help write your own games. As you can see, they have maps, integration with various virtual tabletops, over 5,000 different scenes, and so on. They also have these cool phased maps as well, where you can see there's alterations and changes. Here's an example of a ship setting on fire and as it's phasing down. Those are all options. You can see you can access a bunch of this for free, by the way, and your hero subscription, $79.99. However, if you're unaware, they do have a now new focus on players, and there is a coupon code here, and again, you can use my link in the description as well. And I don't know which one will work out better for you, but you can use the coupon code NerdImmersion to get 10% off your first purchase. But these player-based options here, as you can say, unforgettable descriptions and dialogue for players and their characters. They're all written in the first person. You provide the description to the writers, and then they provide all sorts of stuff specifically for your character. So you'll see as we scroll down here, how your, like, ways to add other colorful language to your character, right? So you can see here, we have Bard Victory Line. Let's click that, right? Let's give that a shot, right? So this is a victory line for a bard to use. Your song has ended, and instead of a great orchestral swell, it is the pathetic squeaking of a drunk trumpeter for a bard to use as their sort of victory line. But you'll scroll down here, and you'll also see I cast Counterspell, I cast Delayed Blast Fireball, I cast Cure Wounds. And you can get these tied to your specific character. So let's go with I cast Mass Cure Wounds, right, as an example here. This could be my cleric, it could be your bard, your druid, whoever casts it. I speak the words of my spell, and my breath is a minty tincture in my throat. A mist of cooling seafoam green energy bathes the area. Those within the cloud watch their wounds begin to mend. Bones crack back into place, blood seeps back into wounds, and flesh stitches back together. Now, I'm not going to say that this is something that you need to have, but this could definitely help you further understand your character, and even, like, this takes that out of your hands. You could have cool lines. And could you imagine showing up to a stream or a game where people don't really know, and you have a whole curated list of things for your character to say, written by a crack team of writers? It's pretty awesome. I'll have the link in the description. I definitely think it's worth checking out. Number 6. Our other good friends, Heroforge. Now, you can use, obviously, the opportunity to buy folks gift cards to purchase Heroforge miniatures, which I'll say, again, if character creation, you know, character custom art is not an option for you, a full pro subscription to Heroforge, being able to allow folks to save and use the color creation tools for Heroforge, is pretty great because you can do a variety of super awesome things with this, and you can even use these to generate your own portraits with the portrait maker and things like that. Like I said, you can obviously choose to buy someone a gift card, which they can then use to purchase, download, and then either have printed or print and paint themselves, or print and color, a variety of different options, or there's also the various plans that you have here. Heroforge Pro is $3.99 a month, which is really not that much to ask, giving you the unlimited token maker for your virtual tabletops, Portrait mode, folders to save characters in so you can distinguish them from campaigns or what have you. Your own personal paint library where you can make custom mixed colors and save them for later uses. Importing colors and paint sets, importing outfits and poses, which is huge. If you find a cool pose that somebody did on the internet, you can grab that, import it in, import it to your character. Beta access to new content and new features, or the awesome new Heroforge Pro Plus download for the 3D printer in your life. All of the benefits we just talked about, and 5 credits a month just to use for STL or virtual tabletop downloads. Unused credits roll over, free monthly featured pre-made digital packs, and this month happens to be Lizard Folk, which you can just download a pack of Lizard Folk figures to print on your own home printer, whether that be an FDM printer or some sort of laser resin style printer. I think it's really good. Heroforge there's a reason they're a mainstay in the community, and you can do a variety of awesome things like you see here. Number 5. A dice popper. Now, for all of you who are ever fans of Pop-O-Matic Trouble, like I was back in the day, or have seen these kinds of poppers before, they're a really cool concept for use in D&D, especially if you're like me and who have players who somehow cannot seem to keep the dice on the table or in the massive in-table area I have designed for rolling dice. This possibly removes that issue. Now you can see you can get these, they come like this from Noble Dwarf is a company that I heard of them first. They are only $20, but I will show you an Amazon alternative that may get to you faster and might be more your speed. But you can see you basically set it all up and you can put the die inside there, any one dice that you so choose, or one die. And we can show, here's a little video where you just push down and it pops, and then you can use it to roll dice for you so you don't have to worry about losing them. And again, if you wanted to do, this one's probably designed mostly for D20, and you can see here it is 3D printed, and you can paint it up to look how you like. This other company on Amazon called Money Grubbers, maybe a sus name, I don't know, has a similar thing. It is a little bit more expensive, but it is also significantly larger. As you can see, you can put a variety of dice inside there. And it says if the pop or dome gets stuck, just rotate the dome and unscrew it, but you can also press this button on the side to access your dice out of it. It does have 4.5 stars for 11 ratings here on Amazon, but unfortunately this one won't get to you until after Christmas. But I think they're really cool. It reminds me again of playing Trouble from when I was a kid, which was one of my favorite games. And I don't know, it's just something different as far as ways to roll your dice aside from something like a dice tower or things of that nature. Number 4. A form of a good D&D notebook. One of the things, even if you do primarily play with computers, tablets, or even just online, a good notebook of some kind to take notes, scrap paper, make little character edits and whatever else is nice to have. Now it could be something like the Dungeon Notes series here from 1985 Games, which is one book that comes with 3 individual booklets. They come in a variety of colors, but they obviously also come in this handsome orange color, which we can go ahead and take a look here. They also have ones for DMs as well as players. So consider that when you go to pick these up. Are you buying for a player or a DM? There is Cantrips Media, has these other ones with sort of these ringbacks where you can pull them out. There's a variety of different prices and different things you can get for all different kinds of play, whether it's world building, NPC tracking. The actual Field Notes brand, which surprised me, makes them, but your Dungeon Notes variety is very similar, will be also slightly on the cheaper side. We have the campaign diaries and the various ones from the Rook and the Raven, also as options for you. I just recently learned of DungeonsandStationery.com has these various Rover books, which have a very cool neon style front cover. A lot of great testimonials from a variety of folks as well, showing off. Again, you'll see they all have sort of a similar interior in the way they're designed. But you can't go wrong with just a classic like Moleskine notebook, right? Whether these, you can get these in a nice lovely orange. These you can actually get probably at a local Staples or a Barnes & Noble. So if you're looking to try to get these relatively quickly for the holiday, that's an option for you as well. Or even our good friends over at Ultra Pro sell these tiny little flip-top notebooks, the Pad of Perception for Dungeons & Dragons. They have the front covers of a variety of different books. They have a little rubber band, or elastic band, and they are gridded paper. And I actually really like these. I feel like an investigator whenever I'm writing stuff down. I flip open my little notebook to take notes. But yeah, there's a variety of different options. Again, I'll have links to the description, and they also come in a variety of prices depending on what you think. I mean, some of these, again, like the Pad of Perception and the sort of dungeon notes, are designed to be more like you use it for that character and then you throw it away, or you stack it on a shelf, or whatever you do, whereas some of these other ones are significantly more expensive and you're expected to buy new inserts when you're playing new characters or playing a different campaign. Number 3. A good pen. Again, this is probably for the DMs out there when they're taking their notes or world building, but this also could be for you players when you're writing things in your fancy new notebooks that you have, or if you like to live dangerously when filling out your character sheets. Now, I have, again, these two are my go-to pens. I've talked about these in the past, the variety of different pens that I like and which ones I use, so I'll show you my 2 favorites, and then I'll tell you why. Again, these also will likely be available. They're available on Amazon. You can probably get them delivered before Christmas if that's the holiday that you're trying to get to. But if you need to go out and pick them up, most stores will typically have these. But if you have a stationary office supply store like an Office Max, Office Depot, or Staples, they'll definitely have it. But I bet you can probably find them in like a Walmart or Target as well. So my OG go-to pen was the Pilot G2 1.0 millimeter in just traditional black was my go-to pen. I love these pens. I still love these pens. They are very smooth writing, but they do bleed and they can smudge if you're too quick to run over them with your hand. They'll leave a mess. But they do also come in a whole rainbow assortment of colors. If you need to possibly, you take your notes in different colors when you're doing your DM stuff, maybe you write your traps in red or your treasure in green, this gives you the opportunity to color code your notes accordingly if you'd like to. They're still a great pen, but I have transitioned into a new set of pens, which are the Sharpie S Gel pens, also in the 1.0 millimeters, my personal favorite. Once again, same thing, you'll be able to get them. They do come in a variety of colors, although not nearly as many. The colors here, as you can see, are black, blue, red, green, and purple. You can also get them in white body as opposed to black. I really like them. Again, G2s were my go-to for the longest time until I saw someone say that Sharpie S-Gels glide on paper like Nancy Kerrigan used to glide on ice. So I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll give them a try. And honestly, I have never regretted it less. I bought a huge box of these, and I just keep them all on my desk, in my bag, in my car, for work. And again, I also like having the variety of different colors for writing, denoting different things. And that's an option. I'd love to see an orange version just because I'm me, but hey, it is what it is. Number 2. Dice. They're a D&D player, an RPG player. They're never going to be upset to have more dice. Shiny Math Rock, go click clack, we all like them. You can get these in a variety of different kinds of materials, designs, customizability. Again, if you're in a pinch, you can probably run to a local game store, maybe to a Barnes & Noble, pick up some dice. Could just be a standard Chessex set. No one's going to be upset that you bought them more dice, is my point. So let's go ahead and take a look. Obviously, you can just search like I did gaming dice on Amazon, and you can find a variety of different options from a ton of different companies. You could go traditionally through someplace, like I really like these strikingly orange and black metal dice. I think they just caught my eye immediately because it's me. But again, you can get them in a variety of different looks, sizes. These obviously look a little bit larger. You can get these ones, these dragon ones look kind of cool. They're hollow in the middle. And then obviously you can get bags and trays and bundles and pounds of dice, and these dragon scale ones are also kind of cool. You could go to some place like Questing Tools and you could get a variety of different high-end acrylic dice. They also recently had their Kickstarter that I reviewed. You can search by a variety of different colors. You could go to my good friends over at RPG Dice and get specifically custom crafted dice with custom facings, a variety of different options. Obviously, he's out of stock on a lot of stuff right now, but they look fantastic. You can get, again, custom sides on them, whether you want to have things and also the website is just super striking. But either way, those are options for you. Or you could go over to someplace like Norse Foundry, get yourself some metal dice, gemstone dice, giant honkin' 45 millimeter dice that'll just destroy whatever table you're playing on. You could go for the pebble dice, the little tiny 10 millimeter dice. They also have them in metal, or go for the Nimbus style that they have, which are the caged one, where you have the sort of outer cage and the die in the middle. There are a ton of different options, and I mean, you can also look for liquid core dice or another one where the internal core of the die is pure liquid, so it moves all around. You can get dice with different inclusions, things inside them, little rubber ducks, little Santa Claus, little seashells, whatever. It depends. If you look around and you search on Etsy or even Twitter or some gaming related stuff, there are a ton of people who got into dice making over the course of the pandemic and are putting out a variety of different options for folks, whether you want to have a more traditional, classic style set or custom sharp edge resin dice. That's up to you. I can't even put a link to all of the possible ones out there. I'll put the ones I mentioned here in the description. But honestly, anyone's going to be happy with more dice, and there's a ton of options and places you can go to get that for them. Number 1. And lastly, a true gift from the heart. Run a game for someone. You want to give someone a gift that will mean a lot to them, that will not really cost you anything to do so. Run a game for someone who maybe they're the forever DM and they don't get a chance to play games very often. Whether you want to dress it up and make some nice plaque or certificate to give to them and put it in a box, or you just flat out tell them, you could also go crazy, right? Make it up a scroll and tea stain it and fringe the edges and torch it and put a little ribbon on it and hand it to them. However you want to do it. But the opportunity to run a game for someone who would not normally have a game is a gift that probably means to them more than you will ever know. Alternatively, go the other way. If you are the significant other, the spouse, the friend, the cousin, the brother, whatever, who's never played Dungeons and Dragons or a tabletop RPG, and whoever you're trying to get the gift for is always like, I really think you'd like it. I really wish you'd come play in the game, right? That's a significantly less of a commitment to say, I know you've always talked about wanting me to play games with you. I'd like to play a game with you. That's awesome. Running a game, same thing. But give someone the gift of an experience to play with you. That's something that doesn't come up that often. And, I'm sure there's a lot of us out there who are like, I always wish I could get this group of people together at a table, but no one will DM. You could be the DM who makes that possible. And the memories that you can forge at that table, whether it's a one-shot or it blows up into a full-blown campaign, it's amazing the amount of time that you'll get together with those friends years down the line, and someone will say, hey, do you remember that time that so-and-so ran that game for us as a Christmas present? Man, that was so much fun. I can't believe all the crazy stuff we got into. Or like, can you believe that the first time that I played with so-and-so, that was their first time ever playing, and they had so much fun doing it. It was a blast. That's the simplest gift. It probably won't even cost you anything to do so, but like I said, the memories that you'll forge and the surprise and the look of joy on your friend, significant other, whoever's face I'm just telling you, it'll go a long way. Like I said, whether you want to just tell them, hey, I'll run a game for you, you can just do it that way, or you could really ham it up, like I said, by making it an invite or possibly sending letters in the mail to folks, right? If you're local or, you want to stream it or something like that, or all play online, sending everybody a card that says like you've been, adventurer, you've been called, you could do all sorts of crazy stuff with that. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this top 10 holiday gift buying guide or gift giving guide, and depending on how you want to look at it. Obviously, you can always give them Nerd Immersion merch. But no, I really want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. You've made Nerd Immersion become this amazing success over the past 2 years. I know I've been at this for a while, a lot longer than a lot of other folks, but the past 2 years, you've really made everything blow up and become this huge success. To the point where possibly going full-time doing D&D content creation is a very real thing that I may be considering in 2022. And that's purely because of all of you out there. So I want to say again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy, safe holiday season. Don't worry, the way I say this, it makes it sound like you won't see any videos from me until the new year. No, I'll be back tomorrow with some other video. But I did want to make this heartfelt and let you all know how I feel. So once again, as I said, thank you all so much for watching. and I'll see you next time.